I, 29M. Think my parents, 50s F50s M, are setting us for a surprise arranged marriage for me. My parents are very traditional, and I am more of the white sheep of the family. I don't really look like a lot of my family and have always gone against the grain. Starting when I was a teen, I knew what path I wanted to take for my future. It was not what my parents wanted, so they fought back, but we ended up with an agreement that I thought wouldn't matter, and that was if I wasn't married in 10 years after I started college. They would arrange a marriage. I figured they were joking, and there was a thought that there is no way I'll be single in 10 years. I've had some flings, but nothing serious. Up to this point, I have been driven to get to where I am now. In my dream career, I am stable, self-sufficient, with no debt, and becoming successful. There's been no talk about it throughout the years, and I thought it was forgotten, until my older sister said she was coming back this week for an event. She lives several states over. I don't get to see her as much anymore. We are close and talk a bunch, but all has been normal with nothing being said or hinted to at this point. I went to pick her up from the airport and noticed she had 3 fancy dresses. One was a very traditional dress used for engagements, weddings, or other similar events. The other 2 were really formal dresses. When I questioned it, they said, "Don't worry about it," then later said it was for an agreement. I dropped her off at our parents' house and they wouldn't let me in the house, but there were a bunch of cars and I saw decorations in the house. They kicked me out and said they would talk to me later. This was 2 days ago. Now they invited me to dinner for Thursday and told me to dress like I was receiving a reward for all my hard work. Rough translation. It is driving me crazy that I'm basically being blocked out and am nervous about what Thursday holds. The only agreement I can think about is the arranged marriage. I asked my sister again if that was what it is about, and she said not to worry too much about it, but then added that our parents do notice things and wouldn't leave me with a stranger. These are all odd comments that are making me paranoid. I don't know if my sister is slipping information or is just pushing my buttons and making go crazy. Am I just crazy? Those who have been in arranged marriages, what was it like? How did it come up? I feel like this is not normal if this is what it is. Should I not go? Skip town. I have driven by their house, and there is still a bunch of cars and activity. But every time I get close, my mom calls me out and says to come back Thursday. My sister is sent to basically act as a bodyguard. Edit. I am reading your replies, but when I try to post a comment, it says Reddit is having issues. Please try again later. Answering some comments. Nope, not fake. Believe it or not, it is my life. I'm a man. This is heavily cultural based as well. If I don't show up and it is an engagement, then there would be major backlash. For me, my parents and family, I would hold it past some of the elders to blame health issues on me because of it. I could be shunned and outcast because of it, depending on how much effort and time were put into it. I can't lie and tell them about a girlfriend because my sister knows I'm not seeing anyone. We talked about it earlier. Work is closed for the US holiday. I don't know how to feel. Update. Hello people. I hope this is how you do updates. Quick recap original on my profile. When I was a teen, I was not the ideal traditional son my parents expected of me. I knew what I wanted to do and the path I would take. Parents and I made a loose agreement that if I was single in 10 years after high school, they would arrange a marriage. 2 weeks ago, they were being sketchy. My sister flew in with traditional wedding dress among 2 other fancy dresses, made some comments about an agreement and other things that made me freak out and think I was getting a forced marriage. Wow, I didn't expect the number of comments. Thank you all for your words and opinions. The most common things I saw were run, hide, fake sickness, bring a fake girlfriend, and the comments about the culture and lifestyle I wanted moving forward. We are currently in the US. Hopefully, I fixed the something went wrong or Reddit is unavailable. Please try again so I can comment. Okay, long story short, I'm not married or engaged, but I am kinda dating someone, I guess. So the day after I posted, I got off work early and sat down with my bodyguard of a sister after she found me. I knew I could crack her if I put on enough pressure. We met up for lunch. I got her to talk. She said that the original plan that she knew of was that my parents were going to do the forced marriage engagement thing on me, but she got them to agree to an intent party. I think you can call it, but I still didn't believe her, so I took it to my parents. Quick thing about my sister is that she is older and had an arranged marriage. They were secretly dating at the time. I told my parents that they needed to come over to my place. They wanted to blow me off, but after some choice words, they came. I asked them what was happening. They tried to deflect and deny. I eventually told them that I would not get married or engaged unless I wanted to. I know we made an agreement, but terms have changed. If they wanted to force the issue, I would go to the party with someone else and act way out of character. I will also be very disrespectful and bring dishonor to our family. Then, I would cut them off and go no contact. Of course, they did not like that. They tried to say I wouldn't do that again and went on for a bit. I finally asked if they wanted to risk it and if they wanted to see and test me. In the end, they were still very vague and said I would not be forced married or engaged. They promised it would be my choice in the end. They said to trust them. I laughed and said right now my trust is zero. They pleaded with me to just show up, and I said I would. I was going to have the backup Jeff on standby, like 90 of people said, but I couldn't get anyone on short notice. One person I called said they had a family obligation party they had to attend. So, the day of I dressed nice, but not traditional or overly fancy. I parked in a way that would allow a me-quick getaway. If needed, I walked into their house and there were a ton of people. My extended family was there, parents, friends, and others from the community. Basically like 40-60 people. My sister noticed me first and then guided me to our parents, and they were talking to some old family friends. As the party progressed, I started to relax. When I ran into the friend that had family obligations, her parents were the ones that my parents were talking to basically the whole time. She was told to come at a later time than I was. We got to talking, and we put two and two together. We noticed both parents kept looking at us and smiling. We both had an oh shit moment. These old family friends of ours were always around. They have a daughter that we grew up close with, but when life got in the way, schooling, jobs, we drifted apart and didn't hang out as much since I went to school a few states away and she did as well. The worst part of this whole thing was they made speeches about two families coming together. Hopefully, this is the start of a happy relationship. By this time next year, we might be grandparents. That last one made me mad. I definitely felt like they were putting pressure. So I did say that in the end, it is our decision as individuals if we decided to see each other, date, get married, or have children. That did not go over well. I told them that that way of thing is old-fashioned and outdated. Times have changed. My sister stepped up and had our back. She also said that the times are changing and that our life is our life. She also said that most of the people in the room are unhappy in their marriages and are hypocritical in their ideals about marriage. Specifically, she called out like half of the people in the room. My mom is the gossip queen. That is also when she took the opportunity to announce she was getting a divorce, like most of them should, instead of being unhappy and resentful in unfulfilled marriages that others pushed on them. Some drama and big arguments later. My sister, Kay, family finding possible girlfriend, and I left early. We all went back to my place and spent the rest of the night talking and ignoring our phones. My sister apologized about hijacking our party and taking the spotlight. The drama and fallout has been rough, but Kay and I have been talking and hanging out. Like I said previously, we used to be good friends. We caught up a bunch, and she was telling me that she is moving back to the area for a job opportunity and would like to hang out more. As much as I hate the circumstances of our reunion, I really like her. I think I might ask her out officially. She has to go back and finish up her moving process. But she is an amazing woman. Our views and opinions about most things align. We have good conversations and debates over silly topics. It has been like we are both teens again. As for my sister, she said her and her husband have been separated for a while now because he is not loyal and made vows he and his dick didn't keep. She also apologized for the deception and the blow-up again. This has made us closer as siblings. I dropped her off at the airport the other day. We have also been talking daily. As for me, I might move slightly farther away. I'm also in low contact with most of my family and people from the party. I also had to unload people who I thought were my friends. That has been rough. My parents had keys to my place and showed up one day. I got them out and agreed to meet up in their house later as I was headed out. When I went to their house, I stole my keys back. It was a bit funny when they tried to come back in, and they couldn't find the key. I put on an electronic lock on it since, and I know they won't know how to work it even if I showed them 1,000 times. I'm not sure where things will go in the future. Thanks. Edit. I would like to point out that this has happened over a week. I made it so that the major point got hit, but left out a bunch of informational details. In regards to my sister, she was left in the dark and only was given details over time. I believe it is called trickle truthing. After she got here is when she got the truth and convinced them to change the party. She was very angry at our parents. Then she explained that the decision to blow up was impulsive and liberating,